Hello students, in this video we will learn the short story My Lord the Baby by Rabindranath Tagore. Tagore is known as Gurudev, Kavi Guru and Vishwaguru. Tagore was awarded Nobel Prize for Literature in the year 1913 for his work Geetanjali. Tagore also wrote about 95 short stories. He is often compared to Anton Chekhov and Guy de Maupassant. Rabindranath Tagore's dates are 1861 to 1941. He was the youngest son of Devendranath Tagore. Devendranath Tagore was a leader of Brahma Samaj. Tagore was mostly educated at home. At the age of 17, however, Tagore was sent to England for higher studies. After he returned to India, he began to manage family estates along with his many literary activities. Tagore also started an experimental school at Shantiniketan. Tagore's important works are as follows. This includes poetry collection such as Manasi, Sonar Tari, Geetanjali, Geeta Malya and Balaka. His famous novels include Gora, Ghare Baire, Yoga Yog. He also wrote plays such as Raja and Muktadara. Now, let us look at the summary of My Lord the Baby. Part 1 of this story begins with description of a boy who is around 12 years old. His name is Rai Charan. Rai Charan is brought to the house of a upper caste man, and he is brought there to look after the man's son. Now, son's name is Anukul. So, Rai Charan is mainly servant of this Anukul. He always keeps company to Anukul from his birth up to the day he reaches college. After some time, Anukul gets married. He has a son. Now, Rai Charan, who is also a grown up man by that time, becomes the servant of this new baby, whom he calls the little master. Rai Charan is very much happy in the growth and activities of this child. He finds he finds great pleasure in bringing up this child. The story contains several passages where Rai Charan is observing each and every gesture of this child and feeling great happiness in the child's growth and development. When the child begins to walk, Rai Charan feels that it is an important event in the history. He plays with the child day and night, and when the baby begins to talk, his first words like Baba, Mama, Rai Charan becomes very happy. His joy knew no bounds, and the baby calls Rai Charan Chana. Anukul buys a small go-kart for his son and drapes him in silk and finery, including gold ornaments, bracelets, and more. After a few days, it begins to rain in their place, and the child feels dreadfully bored because it has to stay indoor. After several rainy days, One fine day, the climate is very good and sun begins to shine. On that particular day, Raicharan takes the baby out in its go-kart and they go near a river which is named as Padma in the short story. When they reach the river, there is a tree there on the bank of the river which is in full blossom. The child gets attracted to the flowers on the tree and wants to have them. Raicharan tries to distract the boy's attention by showing him other things like birds and various other sceneries, whereas the child is intractable. It wants the flowers very badly. Finally, Raicharan tells the boy to stay in the cart and he goes to get the flowers from the trees. When by the time Raicharan returns carrying a handful of flowers, the child goes missing. The evening comes and Raicharan has not returned home. Anukul and the boy's mother go searching for the boy everywhere. They find Raicharan running across the river bank calling out, "Little master," over and over, heartbroken. The parents of the child question Raicharan, "What happened? Where is the baby?" Raicharan doesn't have any answer to these questions. They even promise him any amount of money if they let them know the whereabouts of the baby. But Raicharan does not know where the baby is, so they sadly return home. The mother of the child tells Anukul, her husband, that Raicharan must be involved in the missing of the child because the child had gold ornaments on its body. And being a greedy man, Raicharan may have stolen the ornaments and sold the baby to the gypsy people who were also found on the bank of river Padma at that time. So, this is the story of part 1. In part 2, Raicharan, after the child goes missing, is very sad and disappointed. He is thrown out of service from Anukul's house. So, he sadly returns to his village. After a few months, his wife bears him a child, and the child is named Failna. But after childbirth, Raicharan's wife dies. Raicharan initially doesn't feel any attachment to the boy, but slowly he feels that this new child has come to replace the child who went missing. He feels extremely guilty at the prospect of being happy about his own child in the aftermath of the tragedy which happened in Anukul's house. But as this new child, Failna, grows up, Raicharan becomes more affectionate and loving towards his son. He also believes that the child has come to replace Anukul's baby for some reasons. These are the reasons which Raicharan begins to think that this is the same child. Actually, what Raicharan feels is this new baby who is born in his house, his child, Failna, is a reincarnation of Anukul's son because of various similarities he notices between his child and Anukul's child. So, the similarities are in this way, or the reasons for his belief can be summarized as follows. Now, Raicharan feels that the new baby was born soon after the little master's death, and his wife in her middle age, his wife here means Raicharan's wife, in her middle age could not have given birth to a baby boy unless it was the little master, and it is the little master's merit that the woman could give birth to a baby. Because he wanted to reincarnate, the woman had a child, otherwise she wouldn't have had the baby. And the final reason is that the new baby walked with a toddle and called out Baba and Mama. In the same way as little master would do, this child also calls his parents Baba and Mama. So these are the three reasons which makes Raicharan believe that Failna is a reincarnation of the little master who was lost on the bank of river Padma. Now, as the reader reads all this, he knows that the reasoning of Raicharan is far from truth. It cannot happen, as Raicharan believes, but he remembers that the mother accused him of stealing the child. Now, little master's mother had accused Raicharan that he had stolen her child. If this is truly the little master reincarnated, he feels that he deserves her accusation. So, like this, life continues, and Raicharan looks after his son as if it is the little master. In the final sequence of the story, Raicharan begins spoiling Failna just as Anukul did for the little master. He works very hard to provide money for clothes and other things that the boy may need. Raicharan puts his son in a fine school, and when he goes to meet his son, the classmates of the son think that how can this elegant boy Failna can have such a bumpkin for a father, because Raicharan is just a poor villager, whereas his son Failna looks like a gentleman's son, like somebody who belongs to the very affluent family. Soon, Failna is asking more and more money from his father, and Raicharan is not able to, give money to him. So he visits the city where Anukul is practicing as a magistrate, and tells him that long ago he had lied that the little master had died, but instead he had secretly kept the boy in some place, and he was taking care of the child. He had kept him all along, and now wishes to make whatever he had done wrong, that he wants to correct. Anukul is suspicious of his claim. Anukul is not ready to believe the new story of Raicharan, and he doesn't agree to what this man Raicharan is saying. But there is no proof that Failna is a little master. So Raicharan, whatever story he cooks up, is not able to convince his old master Anukul, whereas Anukul's wife readily accepts Failna as her son. And she begins to look after the boy. Now, because of this situation, that is, Anukul's wife has accepted Raicharan's son. Anukul wants to send some money to Raicharan, but that money returns to Anukul with a note that there is nobody called Raicharan in that village anymore. So, this is the story of My Lord the Baby by Rabindranath Tagore.